Hey everyone, Nick Anderson, Beermonger from Arrowwine in Arlington, Virginia. Just chiming in real quick, we had some good response to the last video and people wanted to see more. My wife actually had the great suggestion of maybe popping up with the odd beer review here and there. So I'm not exactly going to do that, but I did want to point something out in this beer that I thought was interesting and something that maybe gets occasionally overlooked. This is a bottle of Three Floyds Zombie Dust. Amazing label. Super cool. Zombies rule. Anywho, it's a fantastic pale ale. Super piney, really high alpha acid, just bright, sharp, aggressive, but not over the top. And one of the things sometimes that I get from customers is they want to know that something has a lot of hop flavor to it, but isn't over the top, isn't too much. And what I try to explain is that sometimes it's not necessarily related to how high the acids are in a beer. It can be something as basic as this. Let's see if we can get a good shot of this with my overhead light here. Something as simple as the fineness of the carbonation in the beer. Take a quick look at that. Look how small those bubbles are in there. Very, very small, very fine carbonation on the beer. And this is something that's kind of come up over the years with me in my wine experience. It's something you see in vintage champagne. You see these very fine, very small, tiny, delicate looking bubbles. And it's a sign of something that has a maturity to it, and it actually adds to a feel that is refreshing and elegant. It's what makes this beer work. Without that, a more intensely bubbled beer would just feel more acidic. It would draw you out more. In this, it actually makes the beer make sense. Without this one little factor, I guess I mean that literally, it just would be a cartoonishly over-the-top kind of citrus pine acid bomb. And that would be fine. Sometimes that's what we're in the mood for. But not all the time. This is a beer you could actually drink all the time. And that one little thing, that little carbonation added to it, makes all the difference in the world. Something to keep an eye out for. Something to recognize, and maybe something to look for. You know, next time you go somewhere, if you're at a beer bar and they happen to pour samples of a beer, you know, you're not sure about something, get a little sample, take a look at it, gives you an idea of what to expect. Another good example of that, maybe the example of that, is the Brooklyn Brewery Black Ops, if I can get it all out of my mouth there, which is actually fermented in the bottle with champagne yeast, and adds so much to that beer. Again, one of those little touches that is the sign of a well thought out beer, and a little touch that makes a beer work even more than it would otherwise. Is it something you have to do? No. Is it something you can do? Yes. Is it something you should do? When appropriate. In this case, highly appropriate. Three Floyds, you guys rock. Would love to see you in Virginia. And, shout out to friend of the Twitter account, friend of mine, friend of the shop, Sean Dalton, for bringing the bottle by for me to check out. And until next time, I will talk to you. What?